Hello class 8. So today we are going to do the part 2 of the struggle for freedom, lesson number 9. So in the first part we have read about that what are the reasons which led to the rise of nationalism in India. Then we have read about the rise of the Indian National Congress and also the early nationalists. Whereas in this chapter we will discuss about the radical nationalists or extremists. So there was a second wing which was being also evolved, and these are the things which we are going to read from this chapter. We're going to read about the rise of reasons for rise of nationalism, political associations, Indian National Congress, early nationalists or moderates, rise of radical, partition of Bengal, Swadeshi and boycott movement, Muslim League, Rowlatt Act, Jallianwala Bagh, Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. So till now we have just covered about till the early nationalists or moderate, and in this slide we are going to discuss about the rise of radicals, partition of Bengal, Swadeshi and boycott movement and the Muslim League. So we will start with the rise of radicals. I have already discussed about you that there was division within the Indian National Congress into the early nationalist phase as well as radicals who were known as extremists. There was different in their approaches. So from 1905 a new trend began to appear within the Congress where Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai and Bipin Chandra Pal, these were the people who were important leaders of the radicals. They said that the aim of the Indians should be Swaraj, that is self-government, and they don't believe in the teachings of the early nationalists as the prayers and petitions. They believe that it was only by fighting which we can get the freedom. So they criticize the policies of early nationalists and do not believe in prayers and petitions. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he has raised a slogan that Swaraj is my birthright and I must have it. That means freedom is my birthright and I must have it. So you can see here these are the radical, or we can say the extremist leaders: Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Aurobindo Ghosh. These are the leaders. Now objectives of radical nationalists, if we talk about objectives, they basically believe that there should be involvement and participation of all the people, reviving the popular festivals such as Ganpati and Shivaji festivals so that the people should start respecting their culture, and it also brought the political awakening when the people meet together while celebrating the festival. Preparing the people for sacrifices in the interest of nation so that they can prepare the youth to sacrifice, because without sacrifice nobody get anything. New method of agitations or new methods was adopted other than prayer and petition, that is Swadeshi, in which the homemade product was being used, and boycott of the foreign goods so that the foreign goods should not be sold and Swadeshi could be promoted. Hartals were also being introduced. So these are the objectives of the radical nationalists. Now the partition of Bengal. So Lord Curzon was the Governor General of India in 1899 to 1905, and his policies has brought a great unrest within the India. Partition of Bengal was one of them. So basically at the time Bengal was not a kind of territory which Bengal we are having today. It comprises of the Bangladesh area, Assam area, as well as of Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand or Odisha. So that whole area was comprised of Bengal. So in 1905 what happened, the province of Bengal comprised of Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Chota Nagpur Plateau and the Assam area. So 1905 Lord Curzon, he did the partition of Bengal by saying that this area is so much big so we can't able to control it, that's why we are just dividing it. But in spite of dividing it into the northern and the southern part, they divided into the East and West Bengal, which was East Bengal, it comprises a majority of Muslims, and the West Bengal, it comprises a majority of Hindu population respectively. So this was very much clear to the Indians that they just want to divide India on the basis of Hindu and Muslim or religion. This led to discontentment among the people, and there was a lot of protests among all over India, and in 1911 it was being called off. So partition of Bengal was important even because people also realized that they are clearly showing that the British they are clearly showing the divide and rule policy. Now Swadeshi and boycott, so you can see here Swadeshi, whatever the Modi is promoting now, that is made in India products, but that means the product used which has been produced in our country by our people, that we should only use, that is Swadeshi. So the radical nationalists said that our handicraft industry was being ruined by the Britishers, so we want to revive it. So that's why we have to promote Swadeshi. Everybody should wear Swadeshi and buy Swadeshi, and don't use the foreign made clothes. That means don't use the foreign made products of the Britishers. So automatically their demand will decrease and the demand of Swadeshi will increase. So in that way we will again become self-dependent and we need not depend over the Britishers. So that's why Swadeshi boycott movement was established. So we talk about Swadeshi means using of indigenous products, whereas boycott means opposing the use of the foreign products. Swadeshi focus on expansion of Indian industry. Swadeshi and boycott were complementary and supplementary to each other, because if we want to produce, promote Swadeshi, we have to boycott the foreign goods. Then only the demand of the Swadeshi will increase. So Swadeshi also promoted by boycotting of the English clothes, salt, sugar, and also putting the foreign products in bonfires. So this was Swadeshi and boycott movements. You can see here where Swadeshi Gandhiji promoted Charkha, in which he produced khadi. So he asked people to connect to the root of handloom and empower the people or the workers to keep the ancient tradition of handicraft life. You can see here these are the two leaders of extremists and moderates. If you talk about the moderates were the Dadabhai Naoroji, Rabindranath Banerjee, Badruddin Tewabji and Firoz Shah. Whereas if you talk about extremists, includes of Lal Bal Pal, which is Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and the Bipin Chandra Pal and Aurobindo Ghosh. So these are the two groups of the Congress who have different ideologies, but their aim is only one, that is to gain freedom. Thank you so much, class. So we are reading about next, other than the Congress, we are going to read about the Muslim League. So we talk about the Muslim League. So the policy of divide and rule, it has been giving fruit to the Britishers by designing to create disunity among the Hindus and the Muslims. So the Britishers, they have infused into the mind of the Muslim that you are in minority and the Hindus will not give you respect, so you should also have a separate organization, and Congress is basically a Hindu organization. So you should create a separate organization for them, which was not like that, because in that Congress, the various Muslim people were also been there, but the Britishers, they just filled the Muslims with this thought that you should create your own organization so that you can fight for your own interest. So in the initial stage, the Britishers, they favored the Hindus, but later on they started favoring to the Muslims, and so the seed of discontentment, the Muslims were encouraged by the British to start a separate organization, which led to the formation of the Muslim League. So we talk about Muslim League in December 1906. The delegates from various provinces, specifically the Muslim delegates, they have assembled at Dhaka, which is now the capital of Bangladesh, an educational Nawab Salimullah Khan conference, and took advantage of this occasion for most to form a central organization took interest in the Muslims. The proposal was accepted and All India Muslim League was been created, formally founded on 13 December 1906 at Dhaka, decided by Nawab Salimullah Khan. So in that way, the Muslim League was formed in 1906. Now, what are the aims and objectives of the Muslim League? To promote among the Indian Muslims feeling of loyalty towards the British government, so that the Indian Muslims should be loyal to the Britishers, because Britishers only keep or take care of their interests. To protect the political other rights of the Muslims, basically to focus on the political right of Muslims, to prevent the rise of any feeling of hostility between the Muslims and other communities, but later it was been cut out of the Muslim League objective. So you can see here, this is the All India Muslim League first meeting in 1906.